welcome back to another episode of KBS Ngabuburit, and this time it's with me, Miss Anis. And in this special podcast, we also have a special guest here, over here. Hi, Allysa. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me. My name is Allysa Maharani Wibowo, and I'm born in Jakarta, Indonesia, and I'm a student in Kesatuan Bangsa High School in class 10B.
Okay, welcome, Allysa. And this is your first podcast in KBS Ngabuburit, right?
Yes, it's my first time ever.
Okay, first time ever. So, how do you feel?
I'm great. Quite nervous, I would say, since
Yeah.
it's the first time.
Yeah, and actually, I'm quite nervous too because it's actually my first time doing podcast full in English. So yeah, this time the podcast is special. It's different because we are going to do this whole podcast fully in English. And also, one of the reasons why we are doing it fully in English is because here, Allysa here, she's really good at English.
Thank you so much, Miss.
Yeah, really. I've heard you. We've talked before, and not only from me, but also from your friends, from your homeroom teacher, from your teachers, saying that, oh, Alyssa's English is really good, and everyone is wondering how can you do that? I mean, how did that happen? How is your English so good like this?
Well, first of all, to me, language is just a habit. If you have and be in an environment where you can speak English with everyone, you're most definitely going to speak English well. Personally, I grew up surrounded by the English language. I'd say English is kind of my first language.
Wow.
I started learning English at such a young age. Actually, before I was a toddler, I'd say preschool, playgroup. I already started learning English from there, and my parents would speak English with me all the time when I was younger, and they would want me to have fluent English as I grew up.
Oh, okay.
And I went to an international curriculum school starting I was in toddler to primary,
Mhm.
and as well as my home environment with both of my parents predominantly speaking English to me in my daily life. So I guess that's where it all started.
Oh, I see. Wow. So it's just it's because of your whole environment, your surrounding has been speaking English with you the whole time since you know language.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I got very used to it, and that's probably how.
Yeah, and actually that's also one of the things that English teachers always say to the students, because especially many students in KBS came in KBS because they want to learn English. We know that our school has two curriculums, Cambridge and also national curriculum. So we are training our students to be good at English, and one of the way for them to be good at speaking English, to be fluent at English, is by just like what you do, habit, by making English as a habit, by keep speaking English the whole time. And if possible, speak English with your friends. And I believe that many of your friends would like to speak English with you, Allysa.
A lot of people say it's enjoyable to speak English with me. Then that's a great compliment, I'd say.
Yeah, of course, because you're an Indonesian. You were born in Jakarta, right?
Yes.
But because of your surroundings, it's also something good actually that your parents are aware that English is an international language, and for you to succeed, of course, you have to know English because everything important in this world are also using English. And also, just like what we have, what I've told before, that many students came to KBS to learn English. But I heard an interesting story from you, actually, from your parents, from your family, that you came to KBS. One of the reasons for you to come to KBS is to actually learn Bahasa Indonesia. Is that true, Allysa?
Well, kind of. I guess yes and no. My skills in speaking Indonesian isn't the best, I'd say. It's very hard for me to transition from almost my whole life speaking English and going to a fully English curriculum school. And then starting from junior high school, me moving to a bilingual school with two curriculums, which was with Bahasa Indonesia curriculum and also English curriculum.
Mhm.
So it's a very, I guess, hard transition, a rough transition. It wasn't the best because I didn't really have the basics to speak Indonesian starting I was at a young age. Maybe I could say a few sentences, like basic sentences like nama saya Alysha, um, makanan favorit saya sushi, like that.
That is like the basic introduction things that we ask our students to say in English in our like basic English classes.
Yeah, very basic things that are already supposed to be learned at a young age, but I just started learning when I was in middle school. So I guess going to KBS is a little bit hard for me since I'm in high school right now, so I'm learning already very advanced Bahasa Indonesia, where
Ah.
already very good at making essays, stories, and
Yes, exactly. How do you cope with those? Like when making essay stories, you have to use like advanced English, and Indonesian teachers would expect you to use Indonesian very well.
well, there's a little bit of a secret. Well, since I'm not very good at Bahasa and my Bahasa is still very average, my secret is I would make that essay in English first and then using Google Translate to translate it in Bahasa, or ask
Oh, wow.
my friends and family to help me translate a few words or sentences. Because since English is such a habit to me and I'm so used to it, it's very easy for me to instead using English to express my feelings and ideas with English rather than using Bahasa Indonesia. I get told a lot where if I use Bahasa Indonesia, it doesn't really make sense. um, my friends would ask, "Wait, what are you trying to say? Maybe just say it in English, and I'll understand it better." So yes, expressing my ideas and feelings are way more easier using English. So I'd rather have me using English first than translating it manually, rather than
Oh,
starting from Bahasa first, then failing.
but we admire your effort, Alicia. We admire your effort.
At least
We
aim for
appreciate the
excellence.
effort.
Aim for effort.
Yeah, because um, yeah, we are more expressive. We can express our ideas so much better when we are using our first language, our native language, and because you're just so used to English since you were very little, since a very young age, and it's you even said that it's kind of your first language, so of course it's easier for you to express your ideas in English than Indonesia. But yeah, you are working hard on your Bahasa Indonesia and you are trying to deal with the problems related to that language barrier. Of course, that's an effort that we should appreciate, and of course, you'll get better from those efforts. Hopefully. Oh yeah. And by the way, yeah, still related to your habit in speaking English. So, do you speak English with your friend? Yeah, do you speak English with your friends too? Like most of the time?
Well, it really depends on who I'm talking to. Since I moved school 5 times in my life,
Mhm.
since
Wow.
I lived in Jakarta, I used to live in Jakarta when I was born till I was 5, which is preschool, kindergarten. I moved from Jakarta to Jogja. Then when I went to primary school, I went to an international school. I moved twice there.
Oh, okay.
Then I went to junior high school. Then I started moving to a bilingual school. Starting from there, that's when I started to learn quite advanced Bahasa.
Good for you.
Now, obviously, I'm in Kesatuan Bangsa. I'd say it really depends on who I'm talking to again. I would speak English to most of my international school friends or my childhood friends because
Mhm.
they're also very used to using English. And most of them are also not Indonesian. Some are from out of Indonesia, some are mixed. So it's maybe a little bit hard for them to speak in Bahasa. So yes,
Mhm.
I'll speak English to them. And then for my KBS friends now, I try to mix in a little bit of Bahasa, the Bahasa Gaul Bahasa that we
Yeah.
now. But some of my friends also tell me that, hey, can you speak English to me because I want to learn English from you. They said I'm quite not jealous, but I really want to be like you and speak English like you. So I really love that from them, and I do anything for them to be proud of them for speaking English and helping them get more advanced in English. So yes, I mix in between those two.
Yeah, so you support each other, yeah. They
Help
learn English from you, and also you learn Bahasa Indonesia from them.
learn Bahasa Indonesia from them. They also tell me from the start of me in KBS, they're like, oh, did you realize that Alicia's Bahasa is like much better now? They tell me all the time that I used to accent when I started going to KBS, like, what do you call it? Medok. I used to
Oh, okay.
medok.
Oh, yeah, because it's in Jogja, yeah, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Jogja people are very mendok. Me,
Yeah.
when I'm speaking Bahasa Indonesia, it's very mendok actually.
Yeah, and now it's almost been a year since I'm in KBS, and I've met a lot of my friends who speak predominantly Bahasa, and I got used to it. And they said my Bahasa Indonesia accent kind of left. I'm
Oh,
quite happy. I'm quite happy about that. Yeah,
oh, yeah, congratulations. So you're now advancing your Bahasa Indonesia.
thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to know that you're learning more about Indonesian culture, because yeah, you've been in an environment when you're of course in international schools. The environment, the situation, the exposure would be international, right? Especially when you have friends from other countries.
It's much different.
Yeah, so different. But here, because our school is a bilingual, so mostly are Indonesian, even from many different parts of Indonesia, like.
Yes, from Sabang until Merauke. Yes.
Yeah, so there are lots of exposures to traditions. So, what about these exposures of Indonesian traditions that you have got so far?
Well, starting from moving to Jogja,
Mhm.
my old school, we used to have this thing called Indonesian Week.
Mhm.
Since it's an international school, and obviously our exposure to Indonesian cultures is way less rather than
I can imagine that.
school or bilingual schools where Indonesian culture is already a part of that school. We
Mhm.
did a special week um, as a tribute to Indonesian cultures, and every students got to experience different cultures at different weeks. At one point, I'm pretty sure it was Aceh. We took Aceh's culture and we did traditional dance. We learned traditional dance from Aceh, and everyone got to do it. Every student got to do that.
You
Everyone
got to you got to do Aceh dance too, did you?
Yes, we got to do Aceh dance too.
Oh,
Also make a play
I
about
play. Mhm.
make a play about it. We used Aceh traditional clothes,
Mm.
because again, international school, we had students from out of Indonesia, like Australian students. We also had American students, New Zealand students. They also got a chance to experience that, and that's
Wow.
amazing, I'd say. It's a
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so I guess also that also once we did Jogja, or yeah, and we got to play the gamelan,
Mm.
and we did a performance with the gamelan. The girls did gamelan, and then the boys did the traditional drums. What is it called? Gendang.
Yeah, gendang.
And we performed in front of the whole school a song, traditional music, and we learned. We got to learn that in a span of a week, if I'm not mistaken, in that one.
Wow.
And we performed that. Also, we had like a bazaar kind of thing where um, we made Indonesian traditional food and everyone got to taste it.
Mhm.
And again, not everyone's from the same part of Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia has so many traditions, right?
Exactly. So every family brought their own food, and we got to taste icip foods
Oh,
from Jogja, from Sumatra, from Kalimantan, and so many other places, and everyone got to experience that. Yes.
wow. Yeah, that's actually such a good program from that school, and such a great experience.
Everyone enjoyed it, even people that weren't in Indonesia. Indonesian enjoyed it very much. So I guess I'm proud. Proud that's part of my culture.
Of course, yeah. I mean, like, Indonesia has so many cultures. We have so many ethnicities, and each culture has their own language, has their own art forms, has their own traditions, like, and there are just so many of them, and they're so beautiful. And yeah, we should really be proud of these diverse traditions that we can enjoy in our surrounding.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, and about this culture, like, yeah, of course we have to we Indonesian, and we have these cultures, this diverse, this rich culture, and of course um, we should be proud of this culture, and we should um, learn more about our culture. But unfortunately, because now, yeah, internet, globalizations, there's so many foreign cultures that is coming to our country, and also coming to teenagers, of course, here with smartphone, with a laptop, with Netflix, with the whole internet can provide us. So, what do you think about this phenomenon that's happening to the teenagers?
Well, since of the globalization era, now us teenagers are most definitely more exposed to outside cultures
Mm,
rather than our cultures, really. Um, and we have to find a way to combat that. I mean, getting outside cultures into our own cultures is fine if we filter the bad ones, and in the good ones. But we also have to remember, and we have to um, express our cultures as well. An easy idea of mine is we create an event, a daily event, where we can broadcast our cultures and show off our cultures in the hopes of our generation to be more exposed to our own cultures rather than also being exposed to the outside cultures every single day. It reminds us that our cultures are also beautiful, and it can be as good as outside cultures, and be proud of our own cultures. Like, we have many traditional dance, art, music, and especially the amazing food.
yeah, of course, amazing, but we have so many delicious foods.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we should really what's it, enjoy more. We should really expose ourselves more to our own cultures, like this food.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
in our surrounding, there are so many delicious foods, and
talk,
yeah, there's
talking about enjoying our own cultures, this may be a cliche answer, but it's applicable to everyone, including me and my family.
Mhm,
We must love our own products and our own cultures rather than foreign products.
mhm.
It's easy as going to coffee shops, example. Since coffee shops are very um, very spreading very fast now, and literally
Yeah.
coffee shops are everywhere now. Every block you can find a new coffee shop.
Mhm.
Um, Me and my family, especially, we would rather enjoy um, traditional coffee or coffee shops near our area rather than foreign coffee shops that are from out of Indonesia. And I guess that's a simple and effective way to show our love to our own products and our own cultures in Indonesia.
Yeah, we do definitely have to live our own products, and we should use more of our products. We have so many um, qualified products here, actually, especially the food ones. So, of course, we have to enjoy them so much.
Even coffee beans are exported out of Indonesia to other countries because our coffee from here that are plant based here are really yummy and good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, there are many. Also, there are many types of coffee in Indonesia, right?
It's very much. There is some interesting flavors that I've tasted that are brewed in Indonesia. There are some really weird ones as well.
Yeah, from the best one to the weirdest one.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm really glad that you are now spending more time to first learn the Indonesian language. Really glad that you're actually doing that. And yeah, but it's also really good that you're also speaking English very well. That because the language is like one of our ways to open our eyes to the world, right? And English is like the international language. So if we want to be much more knowledgeable about the world, of course we have to learn English. And even though that one of the downside of being too exposed with the English language that you have to learn the Indonesian language. But it is actually a good thing that you're also very fluent in English language because you are ready to face the world too.
Side world, I'd say.
Yeah. So do you also have some tips to your friends if they want to be fluent at English?
Well, I say read a lot of books, even though I'm not the biggest book person anymore. Um, I used to really enjoy reading books, even though it's only picture books that only have a few sentences. Starting from there, we can start learning and be more aware about the English language. And then you can move up a step to articles, for example, or biographies, then long books with no pictures at all. It can be fictional or non-fictional. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Reading can help a lot. Another way is also watching movies. Maybe people enjoy more books or people more enjoy more movies, but I guess you need to balance that also. My parents say, well, to me, that watching Bahasa Indonesia movies can help me improve my Bahasa with learning how to pronounce. But people who want to learn English can do the same with that and watch. There are a lot of good movies in English that still also already has subtitles to it that are in Indonesian. You can learn how people from the outside pronounce some words. Maybe you don't know how to pronounce some words. Maybe I don't know how to pronounce some Bahasa words. You can learn how to pronounce English words from people saying it and be more used to that. Also, another good idea is surround yourself with people who also want to learn English. Surround yourself with people who enjoy wanting to learn English, and you can saling membantu and motivate each other. Maybe like remind each other, hey, why don't we try to speak English the whole day and try to challenge ourselves into that and motivate each other into speaking English every day. And one day you'll be fluent as well, like me.
Yeah. Wow, that's such a great tips actually. Read a lot,
Yes.
watch a lot of movies, practice pronunciation, and surround yourself with people who are also willing to learn the language because learning together is so much more fun.
Funner, and also having someone else to motivate you every single day and remind you like, hey, let's learn English again. Like, let's read some articles together. Let's watch a movie together. We have very many ways to learn a specific language. Doesn't also have to be English specifically, but yeah, that's a really amazing way, I'd say. Even I'd like to still watch more movies and read more books since now I think I'm lack at reading books, and I really want to enjoy reading more books again and starting maybe a new collection of books.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Good that you start reading books again.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much, Allysa, for your sharing. I hope that with this sharing we can learn so many things that, okay, first, of course, it is important for us to learn other languages, especially English, which is an international language. We want to compete with the world. We have to equip ourselves with that weapon, with that tools,
Yes.
which is English. Yeah,
And around the world.
That's true. And also, but even if we have got that weapon, we shouldn't forget our roots. And we shouldn't forget that we also have our traditions that we should be proud of. And these are the traditions that we are proud of.
Yes. Also remember our traditions and learning the English language. I say a bridge between that is one day, hopefully when everyone is already going international and spreading their knowledge, everyone's out of the world and everywhere across the world, also in Indonesia, we can spread our own cultures throughout the world and expose
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That's correct.
Around the world can enjoy our own cultures, make our food, we can perform our traditional dances, and people actually think it's very interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Like the traditional Japanese dances, the traditional Balinese dances, people found it very interesting. Also, what's that one? Ratu Jaro from Aceh. Yeah, many people from outside of Indonesia found it really amazing that people can synchronize their movements like that.
That is something, yes, especially that has already won international competitions.
Mhm.
That's amazing as well to spread our cultures outside and be proud of that.
Yeah, that's right. And that is the bridge between the international language and our national language. Okay, so thank you very much, Allysa, and that was a really interesting sharing from you. Hope you are successful in whatever that you're doing right now.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, and see you again in our next episode, hopefully.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome. So, goodbye, everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye, everyone. Bye.